Check. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to another episode of the Discipline Therapy Podcast. I'm your host, E.O. Discipline. Alongside me is Suhei Sotomayor, your other host, my co-host. Um, yeah, two more. One more
After
season
this.
finale.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Just a couple of stuff. Um, certain promotions and marketing, certain sponsorships. First and foremost, episode sponsored by Rudsac, French Canadian brand Rudsac in English. What I'm rocking right now is called the D. Um, this is very sporty, glossy, casual, light jacket, semi-glossy, quilted down, insulated. It's
Glossy and flossy.
insulated with RDS certified down, feather filled, about 90-10 ratio, which is like the warmest, 800 plus fill power. They kind of compare it to like Montclair, Macage, I would say, not Moose Knuckle, Canada Goose, because of the style. Like, I don't know if you've seen Moose Knuckle, Canada Goose coats. I'm not saying those are bad outerwear brands, but they all look the same. So this
Yeah.
brand
They
is
look like Antarctica type.
yeah, this
Yeah.
brand is like you could like I look good wearing this,
Can I touch it?
Yeah.
Well,
So you can look good also while staying warm. This is water
that
repellent.
is very soft.
Neoprene. This is like a real good material.
Very soft.
Sustainable from oil, water. It's not
It's very
so much
nice.
waterproof, but water repellent. This glossy side is also water repellent. I was wearing this last Monday. It was like raining really, really hard. Just creates like bubbles and it rolls off. Even
It's
on the
cool.
sleeves, water will get on this, but it won't seep through.
Like,
If
when
feel
you
the
wax a
material.
car and the water just turns into
Yeah,
a bead.
yeah. Also has the thumbs right here.
What? That's cool.
So yeah. I mean, something like this could similar look like Montclair. It might cost like almost 2018. This one right here is 545. I mean, Rudsack, you have your online and then you have your physical stores. Roosevelt Field Mall, Woodbury Premium Outlet, Woodbury Common, Hudson Yards. And those are like in New York, and then you have Chicago in the
Nice.
fashion outlet. There's a lot in Canada. If you Google, you'll see a lot. And even if you visit there, I know people that visit there. It's like a celebrity name out there, well known out there, but a lot of people don't know about it in
Here, right?
New York
But
or
that's
even in the
nice.
States, I should say. You know what I'm saying? It's like a baby out here. So most people know about this brand. It's well known. It's popular. Um, but if people are into like exclusivity, like me, I like to rock things that people don't have. They're like, yo, what type of shoes are those? Like, those are fly, but what's the name? And it's a different name you never heard of. Came from like Paris or something like that. I didn't get it out here, or or London, or the car I got is unique. You know what I'm saying? Even
That's
though
true.
it's like a couple of cars that I have, like they're well known brands, but they look different. I gave it a paint job, brims or whatever. Um, Whatever it is, like I like rocking things that a lot of people don't have. Like I'm not gonna be online looking for the new Jordans. Like
Right.
waiting online to have the same sneaker as like 5,000 other
With
people.
everybody else that's online with you.
Yeah, so this is a brand like that. Like I said, it's well known out there, but here, if you're living in the States, having a outerwear, or they sell like five different things: footwear, accessories, clothing, handbags, right? If you have whatever it is, t-shirts, whatever,
They were
water
rocking that
repellent hats.
in a movie, right?
Yeah. The recruit. The recruit actually came back, but the first season, 2022,
Oh, was it not a movie, a
the main
season?
character Max,
Mm.
the main character Maxine, she was rocking something called a Shannon.
Wow, that's
It's
cool.
it's a long puffer sleeves, corset fit, real feminine look. She was rocking the Shannon. It was episode 7 and 8. My memory fucking
Amazing. Amazing. I'm like,
episode 7 and 8,
what?
and people could look this up if they, you know what. There's certain celebrities too, maybe
Yeah, that they
B-list,
do.
C-list celebrity,
Mm-hmm.
Gigi Hadid,
Love her.
MGK,
Mm-hmm.
Terry Crews, a couple
A
of
lot of, yeah.
Madonna, like a couple of celebrities on the low have rocked the brand. But like I said, I like things that are exclusive. A lot of people don't have. This is what this brand gives you. You know, so I have a partnership with them. And we're gonna talk about our online store.
Hey.
You know what I'm saying? You're gonna go through it, but I just wanna
That was
talk about
that
it.
was
They
the
see the
opening.
discipline
That was the
beast,
opening for it.
discipline beast fitted. The muscles and tattoos. Let me see if they could see all this.
He got some pants.
Muscles and tattoos. I got the joggers, viscose material, same they use in silk. Also I didn't really
water
get to
bottles.
talk about the material on this, but it does have elastane. You see that stretch, so it won't tear if you get into like a dog fight. You know what I'm saying? It's not gonna tear so much.
For those
So I just wanted
out
to,
there.
talk about that. But this joggers that I have from the online store, our online store, disciplinetherapy.launchcard.store//shop, viscose, same material they use in silk. It also is elastane.
Oh, really? Our pants?
Material. Yeah.
Huh.
And we make our own stuff.
You want me to put it on the side?
No. Got it here.
Oh.
Okay.
And the water bottles.
Yeah.
We have it all, people. We have it all.
And then last but not least, you'll do your spill, but I really want to talk about this because I'm excited. People that are watching the YouTube, that's what it is. Very important for them. People that are just listening, I know you doctors, nurses, you're on the go, but try to make it on the YouTube because there's something nice that I want everybody to see. Behind Suhei and I, we have the sign.
It's nice.
And people want to probably say, damn, we know he's the anchor. He's probably doing everything. I don't want to take credit for this. Shout out to Joe, the owner of the music studios. Shout out to Joe. I mean, Joe is amazing.
Fantastic.
He got this done, and then he told me where to pick it up. And I was like, yeah, I'll pick it up if I have time. Unfortunately, I didn't have the time. So he was like, I'm going to pick it up this week anyways. But if you could pick it up earlier, it would be great. I didn't have time. So when he got it, I'm right off telling him, we were talking about price before because he knows somebody. And I said, just let me know what it is, right? So I'll sell you whatever Cash App, whatever I got to do. He picks it up and everything. And then I'm like, what I owe you? Oh, just hold on to it. I know you'll be back here eventually.
Such a good guy.
But me and him are like kind of going back and forth for like 2 minutes. I'm like, no, let me give you the money now. No, you'll be here. I'll take it then. So I'm still holding it. You know what I'm saying? Because I even offered him, hey, I'll cash up. He's like, no, give him in person, whatever it is. He had surgery. Some
speedy recovery.
Back surgery. So, he's good, resting. He needs it. So we'll see you when we see you, Joe. We love you. We appreciate everything you do for us. You know what I'm saying? And we love that. You know what I'm saying? He's the type of person like, most old school Italian men, like I told you, I vibe well with them. You know what I'm saying? I don't care what they say about them. They've always been good to me.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You take care of them. You're a man of your word. They do the same thing. So we love Joe. He's been taking care of us for a long time. Like, people have seen us through our journey of almost 5 years. This summer will be that, of us being in different studios. Well, this one we've been in the longest because we enjoy it. We enjoy who's
well
here.
Taken care of.
Well
too.
taken care of. As we do him. Reciprocal relationship. And he got this done. We were both measuring it with the measuring tape to see what it would be.
That's
2 by
nice.
3, 2 by 5, 3 by 5. We agreed on like 2 by 3, 2 by 4. It's perfect, right? Not too big,
No,
not
it's perfect.
overlapping. So what I used to do when I edited was we gonna get into it, ladies and gentlemen. One more episode left. We having some fun right now. I used to, what I would do when I edit, I would just put the digital version. I used to do that. So it was getting annoying. And then, Joe came up with the idea because he's a hands-on type of guy.
Yeah.
He always wants to help, but we do everything. Just like when we have guests in person, they're always in the corner. Oh, can I help with something? So it's like we're self-sufficient.
Right.
We do our own thing, whereas he sets up for other people. So he likes to do things. So he came in here and he wanted to do something for us. And he was like, I think that it would be nice if something like that. And I told him, I used to put the digital version, but it's actually good to have it.
Oh, you told him that.
So I'm the one that sent him the logo. And then he went to his guy, and then his guy printed it up like this.
That's nice.
So shout out to Joe once again. He's official. All right, now you can get into what you're going to get into.
All right, well.
And then I'll do my spill.
Okay. Links are in the description on how to become part of our Patreon family and subscribe for exclusive content, bloopers, behind the scenes, Mr. EL Discipline solo lectures of discipline therapy talk, his BDSM content, erotica posts and writing by Mr. Discipline. We also upload his masterclass and workshops, the full videos on there. There's some collaboration shows pertaining to more sensitive topics such as sexual abuse, rape, domestic violence, transgender, child abduction, conspiracy theories, government conspiracy theories, and much more with myself and Mr. Discipline. Once again, on how to become part of our Patreon family is patreon.com/The Discipline Therapy Podcast. We also have, we start out like that. We also have Mr. Discipline also has 7 published books, which are out now for purchase. You could get them on Amazon.com, BarnesandNobles.com. We have them for electronic versions as well, Kindle and Nook. So run out and grab them. You're going to like one of them books. Once again, all the links are below in the description. And for our online store for merch, like he said earlier, you go to disciplinetherapy.launchcart.store/shop. And we have a bunch of different categories that you guys can choose from. But before he does his spiel, I'm just going to do this real quick.
That?
You scared me.
Magnet.
He says, look,
pen. These were what I used for the workshop. I gave these for people to take notes.
I know. I love those books.
This is dope. Magnet. Shit. It pulls up. It has notepads. Little stickies.
Yeah, I like that.
So, I had a lot left over, so I'm using them.
Yeah. Me too. I have one for here and one for the course that I was taking.
Nice.
One for that.
Ladies and gentlemen, only one more episode left, and y'all come back because, like, sazon, adobo, we season it so nice for you to swallow it well. Even if you don't like it, you don't like where the food is coming from. I don't like who the food is coming from, but I'm hungry. You gonna eat that shit with a mad face on, like looking like you drink spoiled milk, but it's good. So y'all are fiends. That's why you keep coming back. And y'all know what that means. We're serving you your dose weekly of discipline therapy where not everything is completely free. As we're on Patreon for a plethora of exclusive content for you to see. But what is free is judgment-free, sucker-free, censor-free, sensitive-free, and a lot of liberty. God and the ancient ancestors are great, and that means everything else is straight. So go grab your wine, popcorn, or my favorite, roll a blunt. But make sure the children are in bed. Why? Because we have that soul food and sometimes vulgar conversation. Prepare your mind to be fed like one up, inhale life, and exhale strife. Ladies and gentlemen, once again, you are tuned in to the Discipline Therapy Podcast.
We're here.
Yes, it's true.
What's true?
People are hungry, and I'm using that metaphor for information. So, they're always going to tune in regardless of, I know they hate me more than they hate you. They don't hate you. I think more maybe feminists, but the men are with me. You know what I'm saying? He's a man's man. Yeah, yeah. But I think that the feminists or even the closet ones may be haters, but they still tune in. Like it's an emotion you touching, right?
Yeah.
Like they do that in like WWE. Like
in a
I'm gonna
storyline?
give you an example. There's a difference from being a WWE wrestler and a WWE star or a WWE megastar. You always want to try to strive to be a megastar. Because nowadays it's not about talent. It's not about if you could wrestle. It's about how you create and move the community. Like the Yeet movement, you probably don't know, from Jey Uso. The one with Roman Reigns. With Cody Rhodes. The whatever it is in that regard of moving the fans and how they react to you, whether they like you or not. They're booing you out of the whole arena. It's a good thing. They're cheering you out of the whole arena. It's a great thing versus quiet and this is boring.
Like indifferent.
You understand what I'm saying? Like, so it's like that. So for that space, you know, any way you are touching them emotionally, they're always gonna come back. Like when fucking Hulk Hogan turned heel, which is a term for like bad guy. There's babyface and then there's heel. When he turned heel like a bad guy, Bash at the Beach, 1996, I think it was. Like when he turned heel, it's like, oh man, that's my childhood hero. I know a lot of people. I used to watch him when I was like 3, 4, sitting on the ground with my uncle over there, my grandfather, and my father, all watching when he lifted Andre the Giant, and I think WrestleMania 3.
Oh my god!
So I'm like watching it to see him turn like that. But what did you do? I tuned in every week instead of saying, "Man, fuck this! It's ruined for me forever." Shit, I want to know what you gonna do now. So it's all about that, and people may hate me and love me. You keep doing what you're doing, regardless they gon' like, you know what I'm saying, come back. So for me, I'd rather be hated for what I am than love for what I'm not.
Yeah.
You know, so we season it up really, really good for them they have no choice but to swallow it up because they're hungry. You know what I'm saying? They just don't like who the food is coming from.
They don't like the chefs?
Yeah.
That business.
Well, maybe one chef. All right. So I'm talking to that specifically because of the topic that we're going to discuss.
Okay.
You know, so season 17, episode 186.
Is a strong, independent woman automatically labeled as a feminist? And is a strong, independent man labeled as feminist as well? Has the word evolved? What constitutes them or this or labels them as such? You know, when you sent me that, I was like, is this right?
Okay. All right. So, who created feminists? I believe white guys. 2 white guys. I think the ideology came from a woman, but the white men kind of started that movement. Charles Fourier, could look it up. He might have created it. Fourier. You know, sounds like a white man name. You know, so you know, there was an agenda. It has evolved. True. I believe it's true. It has evolved. We had a prior show where we talked about I mentioned what I believe feminism was back in the day and what it is now. So what it was now has masked into like women empowerment, and that has gone into like beyond liberal stances. So
you're right, by the way.
What?
No, go ahead. About Fourier.
Okay. So it has gone beyond the liberal stance and ideology. So back in the days, you know, they're liberal, traditional women are conservative. So the feminists back in the day, for example, I talked about this in the show prior, could say, don't look at women as a piece of meat, whatever, blah, blah, blah. We won't submit to a man. Don't serve, don't do this, equality. And then now it's similar, but the only thing that has changed has been women's sexuality and objectification, predominantly sexual. So that has changed into like women empowerment and liberation. The sexual liberation has been, viewed as women empowerment. So now, it is still, you're putting yourself out there to be viewed as a piece of meat, but they're spinning it.
It's on their terms now.
Yeah.
Like that? That's how they're spinning it?
Yeah. Like their sexuality is definitely their power, but they're flaunting it now out there to let you know that, like you said, this is on my terms. Which men like me are seeing through the bullshit. But men that are not woken, they're not in their divinity. We were talking about something else, that they're unhealed. They're more in their feminine nature. They are male feminists, operative word too, because there are male feminists. We'll get into that. They are oblivious to it. They believe the same thing. They will encourage that. So, let's see. A strong, independent woman labeled as a feminist.
Is she automatically labeled as a feminist?
Now, in some people's mind, yeah. In other people's mind, no. It comes down to like, most people are monkey see, monkey do, parroting. So it comes down to what the majority is saying, that they build social constructs and social conditioning. But being an independent thinker, you start to think more technically.
Yeah, because, I don't think that she's not automatically. I don't think she's automatically. Or rather, I don't think that she should be automatically labeled as that. You got to see what, how she thinks, how she moves type.
Yeah, so technically, like I'm getting into how the people are thinking independently. You're right. No. But if most people are not thinking technical, yes, because it comes down to, Sue, what they believe the term feminism represents, or a feminist. So feminism, the practice, the advocacy, and then the feminist, the noun. You know what I'm saying? Or behaving feministic, the adjective. So it depends on what the majority of people believe that is. It doesn't mean it's true. It's just most people go with the majority. So are they in direct correlation? I don't believe so. And you said no, because of how we look at that term and what it was back in the day until this day. Other people will say not.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because it's no gray area, black or white, liberal, conservative. So if you're a liberal, you're a feminist loudly, or you're in the closet. You see?
Okay.
If you're conservative, you're not. So it depends on the majority and the truth. So I think that most people will look at that independent, strong, and connect that to feminism. If you look at the definition, what feminists were advocating back in the days, it could make sense. It could make sense because when you're looking at a woman who's submissive, she's not independent. So remember, apple, orange, black or white. She either submissive or she's not. She's either feminine or she's masculine. There's no kind of.
Okay.
Even though we're born with both, one trumps the other most of the time. In some circumstances, the woman turns her masculine up. You understand that?
Yes.
And what other people may not understand, maybe the household, he's not there. She's disciplining the kids. No, Bob, your dad said, she brings that out. She yells a little bit louder. She disciplines. You're grounded. She's the disciplinary figure now that he's not there. So now she got to turn her masculine up to do that. Being analytical, being logical, less emotional. She got to turn her masculine up to do that. So feminine women can still do that, but it's a sometimes situation. It's a circumstantial situation. They're not forged into that like permanently, and it's hard for them to get out of it because mostly they're feminine. Due to their circumstances. Again, the irony. So when we look at that stance on it, it's one or the other. So when we say strong, that can be both women, depending on your ideology. I think a submissive is strong. Somebody else may think not. You see? Depending on your ideology. Now when we put the independent in there, now me and the other person think the same.
Now it's because it's independent. It's
because you cannot mask it. You cannot mask it. For example, if a vegan out there is like, you know what? Once in a while I go to Wingstop. You know what I'm saying? I'll go to the person and watch the Tory chicken. What do they call that?
I don't know. I don't go to Wingstop.
No. I'm talking like, let's say they go to
like a Chinese food.
Yeah, or a restaurant or something like that, and they're watching hibachi.
Hibachi.
And then they're watching it in front of them. Like, I'm seeing him how he's skinning that chicken or meat or whatever it is. If they're doing that, right? Are they still vegan?
I mean, if they're not, are they eating it also, or they're just watching?
Yeah, they're eating it.
Then no, then they're not vegan.
That's what I mean.
Okay.
So now when we're talking about independent, we throw independent in there. You can't escape it, and be like, well, I'm still submissive though. Okay. Specifically when I get in a relationship. Nowadays, women have to be independent in the workforce. But when they get in relationships, most of them act like that too. So for example, I could go on girls' trips. I don't need your permission. It's my body, my choice, so I can post it online. Why are you being controlling, telling me that? But we're in a relationship, like you're a reflection of me. Fuck that. That's not how a relationship is. Being a strong man is letting a woman do what she want to do. Trust me, I'm an adult. I know right from wrong. You should trust me.
But you're an adult too.
You see what she's doing? She's in a relationship, but she's living independently. Most modern chicks do that. That's my point. So when you look at it in the sense of now she gonna go on there and tell the man on the date or publicly, well, I can be submissive when I'm in a relationship. Oh, she's lying. It goes back to the vegan person that goes to Wingstop sometimes. Or they're at hibachi watching them. Social media won't know. I want all the meat. So now, pause. Pause. But now they're like, oh, I'm vegan. You see, they're not vegan.
Yeah.
So it's the same thing. Once you add the independent there, no, you disqualify yourself from being submissive.
Gotcha.
Because it has to be specific. I'm independent when I do my laundry. I'm independent when I drive. I'm independent in the workforce. See, now it has to be technical and specific.
Yeah.
If you're saying independent general and then you bring that in the relationship, you're not submissive, even if you're telling me you are. Because a man that's diagnosing and dissecting what you're telling him is going to see it that way.
But a girl can be independent, living on her own and dating, but still submissive to her man?
She can, but it takes the right man, because remember what we're used to, the human brain. Psychology. You've been doing something for more than 5,000 hours, more than 10,000 hours, more than 10 years. You become a master at it. Second nature. I talked about this in the show prior. Second nature. There's your nature, human being nature, gender nature, and then second nature. Like my second nature, handyman. Just because I don't do it every day, because things are not broken in the house. Once it is, I get my toolbox and I get on it like riding a bike.
Got you.
So second nature, she's going to bring that in the relationship too. That's why I say it takes the special man. to not take it, to check her, to make a standard that you're going to follow, because I'm adhering to gender roles and principles too. I provide and protect here. You know what I'm saying? I'm independent. I want to do that for you, so you're not going to be. You're going to depend upon me. It's not both 50-50. So it takes that man to come in and do that. But most men have lost their gangster, or they don't have it. So they can't bring that. You know what I'm saying? So most men won't, like, a special man can do that. They're the ones that can get an independent woman and still be that. It's not a lot.
Right.
A special man can do that. He knows how to talk. He's charismatic. He knows how to make the woman feel. And there's stipulations there. Like, he's not doing anything and being like, I expect you to be this way.
Right.
He's not a dirtbag.
He's putting in his own effort.
He's putting in his work.
Of course.
You know, so because of that, she's now building interest, a lot of it, and she's willing to conform because she don't want to lose it. And it's making her feel good.
I think this is where, like, young men need to study older men who, like, are in a better position, have a good relationship with their spouse or whatever, to hear that stuff. You know what I mean? Don't expect your mate to just do everything for you, and you don't have to do, you don't have to put in your own effort in the relationship. Because I think a lot of young guys that kind of, maybe they're the people, maybe they're idolizing rappers. You know what I mean? And they're not. That's not the message that a rapper sends out usually.
No woman with a brain is going to stay there. Because
I think so. There are plenty of dumb people who
yeah, they're heavy and they're masculine. They're independent. A feminine woman who's dependent upon a man not gonna stay there because her nervous system's gonna be up. Her safety's at risk. Like, even if it's subconscious for her, it makes her feel uncomfortable being there. She's realizing she can't embody her femininity.
So she breaks up with him?
Yeah, or runs away. Like, she does the masculine thing, turns her masculine up, and breaks up with him, walks away.
But then
some feminine women don't even do it straight up. Maybe they'll ghost. Maybe and it depends, right? She not gonna ghost them if they got a couple of years. But I mean the dating process. It's in the dating
leading
process.
Into if she sees those red flags early on. Gotcha.
Or she's gonna say something that she don't want to be mean, so she feels guilty, and it's keeping her up at night. So she'll reject you in a nice way. You know what I'm saying? I know these women to a T. Like, I've dissected them for years. The masculine woman, how she operates, and the feminine woman, the modern woman, and the traditional. So that's how the feminine woman will do. And it also comes down to the shy and the dominant. We talked about this in the show prior, the virgin who's dominant and shy. So it comes down to that too. She's feminine, turns her masculine up to be ambitious. It might come out. She's going to feel bad about it. You know what I'm saying? But in that regard, like, if she's speaking out about it, she's looking for a change.
About how
giving you a chance to change.
About how he's not putting in effort.
Yeah.
Got you.
But if she realizes that, I'm not even going to do that because I'm not used to telling men how to be men. And providing stuff. She's gonna I'm sorry, it's not working for me.
Or find any way to get out.
She's gonna let you down easy, yeah. Or ghost or whatever it is. So, in that regard, the men that are not putting in the work, that are with the women, is because the women are enabling that. You know what I'm saying? So that's the masculine woman. Because the feminine woman is not enabling that. Like, remember, it's polarity. Like, damn, I'm shy. I'm submissive.
Right, she's looking
I'm
for
a good girl.
Her boss. Or whatever.
He's like that too. There's no attraction, so they're gonna go. One of them gotta go. So with the man who's like that, submissive, beta, whatever you want to say, simping, The woman, you may think she's feminine, but she's her independent. She's bringing that in there. So she keeps giving them chances. She's like, well, I'll take care of this. Well, I'll do this. I'll do that. Even if her nervous system is up. She's probably in workplaces that are
male dominant.
Oh yeah, and her nervous system is constantly up. So it comes down to full circle, second nature. So I'm used to this shit. I'm used to like being uncomfortable. I'm used to always going through pressure. I'm used to going through shit. So even though she even brings that in her relationship, stress. I'm used to going through stress. So that's stressful. That's trauma. So it's like, I'll deal with it like I deal with at work. Well, let me take care of this firm. Let me do this. He's not putting his 100%. She's putting her 100%. He's not putting his 100%. She's still there. You know, so that's the woman without the brain.
Yeah.
Because she's thinking more egotistical.
Like she could change him?
Yeah, pride. The feminine woman, she got a brain. She's thinking, damn, I'm fucking gonna die here. Shit could happen that really, I like we both don't know what we're doing. I gotta go. Like I'm scared.
Interesting.
She got a brain because she's thinking about her well-being. The masculine, independent woman is not. You know, the ego kicks in and the pride, and that doesn't allow her to think logical. You know, so that's the only exception. But a woman with a brain is not staying there. She's not tolerating that. You know what I'm saying? And it has nothing to do with, oh, well, she's checking him or whatever. She's distancing herself. She's just removing herself. She's not like, oh, you need to do this and da-da-da-da-da, and I want to change.
Well, it's not in her nature anyway to do that.
Yeah, it's not in her nature. She don't feel like, especially if she's dealing with a grown person, like we're not kids, she doesn't feel like I need to tell you. Like, why would I need to tell you to open the door?
And plus, if she's not used to that, she's going to be like, what the hell's happening right now?
Yeah, why would I need to tell you how to treat me? Like, it's like a woman feels that sexual prowess.
Yes.
So in the bedroom, like, why would I feel comfortable telling him how to please me?
Right.
He would just know intuitively or study me to know. It's like, then you talking about people like, whoa, then you're making women, you're not holding women accountable. You're giving them an out to not have open communication.
Oh.
You see, but I don't believe that it's appropriate to start out the relationship like that. I think that because I'm talking about me now. I'm not saying for guys to think like that. I live a different lifestyle.
Okay.
So as a dominant in the lifestyle, I'll approach already putting the stuff on the table. Not her telling me, like, I never experienced this, but if I dated a woman and she right off the bat was like, well, this is what I like, well, as a Scorpio too, I'm going to look at that as you telling me what to do. And I'm going to tell you straight up, I'm going to do the opposite to piss you off purposely. Oh, your exes did this and it turned you on. Oh, yeah, we ain't never doing that. He used to cook for you all the time. Now I ain't never gonna, and I cook. So you get used to that. He's a different man here.
Jeez.
You know what I'm saying? And then I cook out of nowhere. Oh my God, I didn't know you were a chef.
A chef.
Yeah, I do a little something. I do a little something. But she now, you know what I'm saying? Because of what it is, dominance. I'm establishing dominance there. You know, by doing that. But it comes down to like, you know, the man and the woman. So I believe that it's not appropriate if the woman is like right off the bat, oh well, yo, this is what I like and da 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 da. She should have open communication with the standard basic stuff. You know what I'm saying? Not what I like in the bedroom, because that can backfire.
Yeah. Well, just
you do this all the time. You probably got a lot of bodies.
For the, you know,
in a man's mind.
And for the viewers, what would the basic stuff mean? Like, what do you mean when you say the basic stuff? You have open communication. Like,
so the basic stuff of opening on the first date is how her character is. The basic stuff of not her telling him how to be. Just talking about her personality.
Like
well,
her
I like this. I like rock climbing. I like hiking. I like this. I like that. And Like now he's retaining that type of information. If he has common interests, then he engages it. Not, oh, because she likes hiking, we gotta do it. So I want to appease her. Fuck what I want.
Right.
Like now he's looking at it. Oh, I like that too. We got something in common because that's very important in relationship.
Yeah.
It's not. Damn, we always go hiking. I really hate this shit. Taking pictures. I'm simping for my girl. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, dude, why are you doing that? Like, you don't like it.
Right.
That's not love.
Right. No.
That's not real love. You know what I'm saying? So now you're finding interest. Oh, okay. He's letting, oh, she likes that. I don't like it. He's not saying that you can't do it. So those are basic, like standard stuff of what it is for what you. Oh, I like the movies. I like my hand held. She's not saying, well, you know what? If we get in a relationship, you have to do that. She's telling you what it is because it's like if you're asking the right questions, eventually it's gonna come into all of that.
Right.
Well, what do you do for a living? Blah blah blah. It's gonna come down to like how you are in a relationship. Not like that direct, but what are your hobbies? You know, are you outgoing? Yeah. Are you an introvert? Are you extrovert? So now she's giving you depth. She's not just saying yes, no, but she's saying yes. Oh, I like to do this. I'm hiking, whatever. You see what I'm saying? So now he's learning this stuff. The man is absorbing that and remembering. That's a problem with a lot of dudes. They don't remember what women tell them.
Yeah, because they're probably looking at her boobs or thinking about
they're
sex.
Distracted. Yeah. So
let me ask you a question. Can you write that down? What you were going to say? Sorry.
Flipping it on me. I would say that.
Let's say two people are on a date, this first date, and conversation's going well, and the guy now kind of shifts it towards a sexual question. What would you advise? How would you advise the ladies to handle that situation?
On a first date?
Yeah.
Run.
No, serious.
Yeah.
They're at a restaurant. They're eating. She's hungry. They're eating yummy food, and he comes and he says something. Honestly, how would you tell the ladies how to?
He's like joking around with it,
even if he was joking, like you like that food. What else that mouth do?
Yeah, that's a red flag.
Right. So how should the ladies answer that to steer back into a regular?
It would depend. Let's say they were talking, and it's the first date. Like let's say they were talking for 2 months.
Okay.
Which is like not common unless it's like dating app.
Okay.
Okay, and then now it's the first date. That's not a red flag if they've already established something. But you're talking about like, okay, I met her at Barnes and Noble. I talked to her all day. I said, when are you free? Okay, you clear your day. Your plans are with me. She's like, okay. So I'm like, I'm not even waiting at night. I'm picking you up at like noon. We're gonna have brunch or earlier than that, coffee, whatever, right? So now, like, I've only known her for 2 days. You see?
Exactly.
So it really depends, right? Because there's no dynamic built yet.
Let's say it's that situation.
That situation. Yeah. The shorter time frame of knowing each other.
Correct.
Yeah, red flag.
I know it's a red flag.
What should they do?
How would you tell the ladies? Okay, what would you tell the ladies to do? Would you encourage them to? What should they say to that guy? Like, I don't think that's appropriate right now, or ignore it and kind of try to go to back to.
I think most women, due to fear, would not be direct. Right? Due to like trauma, what they've seen in the past, heard with their girls, whatever, right? How the man's reaction would be. So I don't think they would be that confident to be direct.
Even if they were like at a restaurant?
You got to understand.
That'd be the perfect
you got to understand, with women, right? Like in their head, it's like strike one. Like most women go out there disqualifying guys. Guys don't go out there disqualifying women and putting standards and these are my rules and boundaries and boom, 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 putting things on the table. Most women do that.
Is that bad? I mean, in this situation, it's not bad.
Yeah, it's bad because that's the woman taking on the dominant role, like being heavy in her masculine. She's going to get a feminine guy.
That's what I'm saying. So what should she do?
So, in that regard, it's already a lose-lose situation unless, depending on the woman, she's willing to give you another chance. Because remember the strike thing. So you got to understand, the first impression is the lasting impression. Mm-hmm. Right? So if he already doing that in the beginning, right, in her mind, even if she's not direct, damn, I'm never sleeping with him now. But maybe I'll use him for these free meals.
Maybe she don't want to. There was a turnoff.
Okay, so then it could be a ghosting that could occur because of that fear of the reaction. You know, that's why I'm saying it might not be straight up. If she's already being straight up with it, don't you think, like, if she's a feminine woman, don't you think that would make her uncomfortable? Like, I'm gonna give you an example, right? If I go on a first date with a woman and I'm like, it's 11 a.m., right? And I say we're gonna have coffee or brunch because it's close to lunch, 12, right? Breakfast and lunch. That's why it's called brunch. So we don't know who's watching, young adults. So now this woman orders a martini. She orders what's the feminine drink?
I don't know. I don't drink martinis. I don't drink
margarita or some shit, right?
Maybe.
So she's ordering that.
Cosmo. That's
and I'm
drink.
Like, you're not gonna have anything to eat? Nah, I'll just have this.
Oh my God, on an empty stomach.
So if I have to say, you know what, that's just bad. Like, nobody told you that. That's poor behavior. Let me ask you a question. It's personal. Are you an alcoholic? Like, if I have to go through all that, why? I'm just gonna tell her, listen, I'm a different man. I'm not telling women to do that. Me, I'm gonna be like, there's not gonna be a second date. We'll finish what we have here, depending on my mood. I'll get the check, but they ain't gonna be in second date. I'll write that off in my business. I'll just write that off. I'm not gonna lose the money. Like, I'll be straight up like that. She's like, God damn, he's being an asshole. But I'm being real. I'm not saying a lot of men will do that, or I'm telling women to do it. All I'm saying is, I'm trying to break that down from my example of saying that it's already done for you. So if the woman is already checking in that regard, it depends on her if she's like, oh man, he's really, really tall. Let me give him one more chance. You see? Then you might have time to redeem yourself. Oh, he got a lot of money. He's popular on Instagram. Well, let me give him another chance. I mean, he did open the door for me when we came in. He did, offer to pick me up. Like, let me give him a chance. You see, it depends on the woman of what it is. But I feel like most women, you're done already. It's just that they won't be straight up to be like, you're done, because of the possible ramifications in their mind. Fear. The woman's brain is always on alert with certain things. Yes, based off trauma and stuff, but also her environment.
Yes, which could cause trauma. No, okay. I'm gonna rephrase the question. Let's say one of your nieces is coming to you for advice. I'm going out on a date, first date with this guy. And let's say your niece is very she's a submissive girl, good girl. What would you want her to say to this man if he brought up like a sexual type of a question?
We've had this discussion already. My niece is currently in a relationship. His people owns a gym.
Nice.
So, you know what I'm saying? I knew him already, and then like I know his pops. So me, I'm like the dominant character I created in chapter maybe 7 when Raina's going on the first date. Like, I kind of mirrored that around what I would do. And I'm not promoting that, ladies and gentlemen. It's a fictional book. But, and I'm not going to say if I said that or not to somebody. But, like, I would vet them already. So here's the thing. If I don't get time to vet him and she's like, oh, I'm going out, I'm going to ask him what type of guy he is, first of all, just like what a father would do. Right. Her father's not around. So then, because we've had sex conversations already. If that happened to her, I would tell her to,
ghost him?
No. I wouldn't tell her to do that. I would tell her to be forward with him, but in a respectful manner, so it doesn't look like you're being dominant or aggressive and stuff of that nature. You don't know that guy. Secondly, I think that guy would be a dummy to do anything, like as far as retaliation. First of all, if I already vetted him, he's on his best behavior. If I don't, well, he's kind of like flipping the coin at that moment, rolling the dice. If he was to, anything, know what I'm saying? I don't want to,
Don't put it out there. Don't do it.
Yeah. So, but let's say a regular person, don't talk about me. Because
no, but that's why I'm asking, because I want to know what you would say
her
to
dates
the women.
would be on best behaviors.
Right.
But what I would say to the women is
why can't you give them that same advice?
Because I could give them the same advice. Yeah.
It's not a bad advice.
It's just that it doesn't mean that it's always gonna work with every woman, because there's different circumstances. She went through so much trauma trying to heal from it, abused physically in every way,
of course.
But she's still heterosexual. She still wants to date. You know what I'm saying? So I could give her the right advice and she could be like, yeah, that's good. She doesn't bring herself to do it, so she ghosts. That is her way of handling it, putting her boundaries. So she ghosts. You know what I'm saying? She's doing the wrong thing, but she couldn't take my advice. I'm not telling her to ghost. I'm telling her to do what I would say with my niece.
Right.
But in a respectful manner. But if you gotta do that for that sexual reference, then run. Like, tell him that this won't turn into anything. Like, I would even tell women to be like, you know what? If you want to go half on the bill, because I don't want you to feel like you waste your time. I'm done for the day because of that. Like, because I'm done. Oh, what happened? That didn't make me feel comfortable. And now I got like a wrong mentality of you and thinking that this is what it is and only going to be, oh, no. Like, maybe he's lying now. Oh, no, that's not what it is. It was just a joke. So now it's like, oh, that's a bad joke. I can't recover from that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't want you to feel any type of way like I was using you, we'll split it. Or maybe I'll get the bill. So you feel like I wasted your time. That's what I would say if I was giving them advice, because that's making that man go through certain trauma too, which is probably why a lot of like the red pill guys, like they seem like very weird with what they say. Maybe they say a lot of the stuff I say, but they don't really live it. And I feel like the type of women they date are the modern and the whores.
Oh my God.
So now they get played, and then they just go on platforms and they want to debate chicks and bring bimbos on the show purposely because I'm gonna have an advantage and
to feed their ego.
Like they're like I'm. It's the get back now. It's revenge.
Yeah, that bitch hurt my feelings. I'm gonna take it out on you now.
So like that could be trauma too.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna give them advice to try to avoid that by being that way, because he's not gonna look at you as, damn, I can't trust these bitches now.
Because you're being honest.
Because she ghosted me.
No, right. But if she's honest, he can't say that.
Yeah, because she's actually, but which is very hard for women to do. It's not common for women to be direct and honest. They may want that, but it's hypocritical because a lot of them can't give it. Like you a comedian, but the moment I crack on you, you're not even laughing.
Right.
You're not even laughing. Like, let's keep cracking on each other until somebody give up.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
It's gonna be him.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just it's not fair. You know, like having a professional boxer fight a ex UFC fighter or ex fighter, like ex boxer like me fighting a regular guy. Like, it's not fair. Like, I'm gonna walk away. Right. I could cause serious damage no matter your height. I know pressure points too in martial arts, so I could do some real damage. So it's best for me to walk away. It's not fair. So in that regard, it's not fair. It's hypocritical.
Yeah.
You forgot what you were gonna say.
Yeah.
Wait. The niece.
No.
What would you say for them? Yeah. So it comes like the independence of labeling them as feminists. Like, that's not coming out as feministic.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I think modern feminists, like really, feminists shouldn't exist today. Reality. They shouldn't.
This is gonna kind of steer us off, but no,
because they're
coming back full force, and only because of that law that's being passed, where married women who have changed their name, if your name doesn't match your birth certificate, you cannot vote. That's crazy talk. Or how do you feel about this?
I mean it.
With this,
I mean it on a sense of
for the bullshit that's the feminists of now you're talking about.
Yeah, because the reality is that was a movement for something to occur, which they got. Because can you name a law, especially in the West, right? We're not talking about different countries where we live. Can you name a law here in America that a woman has that a man doesn't?
That a woman has that a man doesn't have?
Yeah. Or vice versa.
I don't know. I mean, there's a lot of laws and a lot of bylaws and stuff. I don't. No.
So do women? Yeah, because do women have the right to vote?
Right now, yeah.
Yeah, back then they couldn't. So women's suffrage, all this stuff.
Yes, you're right, 100%.
So now we're looking at it like nobody can think of a law that a woman has that a man doesn't. So if they were advocating for rights, they got it. So why feminists exist? Because it's pseudo. It's not real. The feminist today is on a path to female superiority, diminishing the patriarchy, and the male feminists are backing that. They're into that as well. So that's what it is for today. The female feminists are like whores. They're hoes. They're all post your body online. It's empowerment. Boom, boom, boom. Men are encouraging it. I don't see a problem with a woman doing that. And they still want serious. They're the ones that wife the porn stars. These male feminists, they're the ones that's simping. They're the ones that say happy wife, happy life. That's a male feminist mentality. You know what I'm saying? So these guys are the ones that believe in equality, gender equality in relationships and stuff of that nature. And they're more inclined to putting the women at risk in every regard.
Okay, good. I'm happy that you brought that up, because the second question kind of threw me off. Is a strong, independent man labeled as feminist? And I remember when I was writing it, I text you, is this right? So can you explain that?
Because we're looking at the common denominator term, feminist.
Okay.
So if we say feminist it correlates with strong and independent, but we don't put a gender to it, are we also saying that this is a stamp for both genders? That's what I'm doing here.
Oh.
So what was it?
The first one?
No, second.
Oh, is a strong, independent man labeled as a feminist?
No.
No, I say no too.
No, because it also depends on ideology. Remember, it goes back to the beginning where we're saying what a feminist is, what we believe. So you and I, our perspective is no. Other people's perspective is yes, maybe.
Because of the strong independent.
Yeah. You know, so when I'm, because I'm not going to talk for you, but when I look at science and biblical times or Bible or whatever, been to different countries, know different ethnicities, races, I say, no, it's not. Because now you're putting the term independent there. And that has always been with the masculine energy. Remember the first masterclass?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I talked about masculine and feminine energy.
Yep.
So independent, I labeled the traits, is with masculine. So when a woman is independent, she's in her masculine. So it's an energy. Collaborative, feminine. Compassionate, feminine. Patience, feminine. You know what I'm saying? Stubborn, masculine. Prideful, masculine. You know what I'm saying? Assertive, masculine. Go-getter, masculine. Territorial, masculine. Jealous, masculine. Possessive, masculine. So when we look at independent, I'm just gonna look at science and biology. You a man. You know what I'm saying? I'm not thinking about transgender and sex change and stuff. You a man. Pause. Like you got the organ and everything. Like you look like a man. So initially, men are independent. We are walking forward. Women are walking to chase us, like behind us, because they're dependent. So we are walking forward. Like I could break up with a woman or two and have no chicks and I'm still good. I'm independent. The woman needs a partner before, like a job. I got bills to pay. I got a scarcity mindset, so I got to get a job before I quit. Just like backup plans. I got to have a backup before I leave them. The feminine is like that. The feminine always got to have a man. Even if you don't think it.
Backup plan.
Yeah. So there's a lot of women in circumstances right now that's like rah, independent boss babe, but behind closed doors, there's a man helping them.
Mm-hmm.
They don't show them. There was
a movie like that. There was a movie like that where the girl was a writer or something like that, and she was like the face of a feminist movement.
Yeah.
And then the
Sex Life.
Yes, and they were like, you can't have your boyfriend all up there.
Remember? Was Netflix.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, the woman was married, and
did you see me bring that memory back?
Yeah, forgot all about that.
Go.
Yeah, and they were like, "Yo, your image."
Yeah. And she was supposed to be rah feminist, and she's like, well, she kind of was, but she did, follow him and beg him. And
she wrote a book on it and everything, and then and he broke up with her because of it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I like watching shit like that because it gives me ideas. It shows me like goddamn, it's almost as if I put that film out there, but I wasn't the one. Like they stole my idea.
Right. They tapped into your brain.
You know what I'm saying? So now I'm looking at it like, yo, this is the shit I say on the podcast. Like I'm watching it happen with actors.
Mm-hmm.
So that independence, when you look at those terms, strong and independent, it depends on your ideology. But like I was saying, how I think of a man is he's like that.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Even if people are like biblical or religious, Adam was by himself. Then Eve came. It wasn't they came together. Or wait, I put Eve here and then she got no. You understand what I'm saying? So, when we look at that, I could say that strong, independent, I wouldn't even put it as feminist. You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't even put it as a term because I'm technical. But like for me, what I do, right? I do a psychological game, and I'm gonna spill the secret right now. Oh. So when I'm dating a woman, and she says certain things that or whatever, like I'll tell her shit like, oh, that's feminist. That's a feminist ideology. That's a feminist mentality. Like I've said it to you on the show.
On the show, yeah.
And it's like, it's to force her to think, because technically, I'm not calling her the right thing. It's psychological. Like it's like shaming to make them hold themselves accountable.
You feminist.
Like when like if you came down the stairs and you had an overprotective father and he's like, oh, why are you gonna go out there dressed like a hoe? He clearly doesn't believe he raised a hoe.
Right.
But he's like, you're acting like that.
Right. So behaving as one.
Yeah. So he's not like, so for me, I would throw those things in there to make them think. But technically, a feminist is not strong, independent. You know what I'm saying? Because when you're looking at the term and what it is and what it advocates for, you know what I'm saying? A male could be that.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? So today, when we throw this in there, it's because like I'm trying to make this term demonic.
Feminist?
I'm anti that. Yeah, I'm trying to make this term demonic. So reality is like, yo, you a closet feminist. That's a feminist mentality. Because when you look at it back in the days, they advocated for rights.
Right.
So now
they were righteous.
Now that you're acting like that, you need to shame them because you need to let them know, yo, this was the real feminists and how they were. How you are right now is bad. Because I could even say back in the day, which would surprise a lot of people, that is like, okay, that's right for what they did.
They were needed back then.
Yes, because it would have been very detrimental for women if it wasn't. But now when you're talking about this, like it's almost like that episode when I said I'm a G. So I'm a G, like who cares how she's coming because I'm a gangster. And I told her, I was like, God damn, how many times you have to keep telling me you're strong? I get it already. I get it. It's the same thing. At this point, I see that you're working. I see that you're doing this. The moment you start spilling that stuff to me, I'm going to shame you and tell you this is a turnoff. Like, do I have to tell the woman I got muscles if I meet her on a date in a V-neck?
Nope.
No, because she can see. It's like, duh.
She got eyes and they work.
Yeah, so if I'm already seeing you out here, whatever, why would you constantly, like, I'm trying to hold the door for you. Oh, you don't need to hold the door. I'm a strong, independent woman. Oh, you don't have to offer to do this. I could. Like, why would you keep doing that? So now the psychological thing is to shame them because that's the same thing the father's doing by you coming down dressed inappropriate. I didn't raise no hobes. Like, he's not calling you that, but he's shaming you to hold yourself accountable. Go back upstairs and change. I don't approve of this, and I'm a man. So that means that they're going to look at you as food. You're going to be at risk. He's not explaining it like that. He's just saying, go do it because I said so.
My dad did that to me when I got pregnant. I mean, I wasn't a teenager. I was 21, and then I gave birth, and I turned 22. But because I wasn't married yet, he was like, that's a whore thing to do.
Yeah, like, you see? And he's not calling you that.
Right, no, he said that's a whore thing to do.
Exactly.
Whores do that.
So that's a psychological tactic to get you to hold yourself accountable. And look at yourself internally. Yeah. So it's the same thing. If I'm dating, yo, that's kind of feministic. Man, that's like right off the bat, she don't need to know that's a turn off. The way I'm not saying, oh, well, that's feministic. Yeah, okay. I see that. She don't even say I need to like it. Though with my body language, how I'm excited about it by your just facial expressions versus, damn, that's kind of feministic. Like, that's feminist.
Yeah.
Like, you got a feminist mentality. I mean, I'm not saying that's what you're, but that's a feminist mentality. I mean, damn.
Yeah.
Right then and there, you don't need to see her. I didn't articulate. That's a turnoff. I didn't like it. You're already able to tell because as a woman, you're using the brain very efficient. Very social receptive
your
to
tone,
what the man is.
Yeah,
my tone, everything. So you're studying all this. Your attention to detail. Way more than what a man could do. Special men do that. He got to be in his divine masculine to dissect and diagnose. But most women, when they're in their feminine intuition, they're doing that already. So they're already doing body language. Oh, man, he definitely didn't like that.
Yeah, I mean, that was obvious,
He didn't seem excited.
Yeah.
You see, so in that regard, like, it's to make them hold themselves accountable. So technically, strong and independent is not associated with feminists. You know what I'm saying? But the word has evolved. It has evolved from women empowerment because that sounds nice. It goes back full circle to what I was saying earlier today. We seasoning it. Adobo, sazon. We seasoning it well so you could eat it. So now you like, I mean, this kind of looks okay. But then you're like, but it smells good. See, you're not used to it. Like, you're looking at it like, fuck, man, this should look bad. Look bland and all that. But then you're like, oh, give it a try. You're tasting it. So that's what it is. They know feminists and feminism is an ugly term. So now we got to make this sound and look beautiful. So how we're doing it, women empowerment, because that sounds nicer. It's just like when I say a lot of unhealed people can't handle this type of assertiveness. Misogyny, They'll throw out terms they don't know, or that's false. Because they're unhealed. I'm too intense. I'm too loud. Tone it down. Right? Angry black man. That's what's raising in their head. Hate women, because they're not listening. It's like, but other man could be saying exactly the same thing how I'm saying it, twisting the words, adding sazon, adobo on it, and now they're swallowing it well. And maybe it could be no, it's not a lie because he's saying what I'm saying, but he's saying it in more an articulate fashion and nicer, and he's using a different tone.
You can say the same thing 10 different ways.
Yeah, so now it's actually the delivery that's scaring a lot of people. They're not listening to the message now because they're triggered with emotion. But when the other guy is saying exactly what I'm saying, but adding certain terms, like I could say, women like a man to control. No, that's a trigger. That guy says, well, women like a man to have guidelines, set boundaries, and lead.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And they're like, yup. If you do it, alpha woman could be that. But if you lead properly, she'll submit. You see how nice that sounds? But it's like now all these alphas coming out, all these feminists, yeah, that's true. Because they put it in a nice fashion because they're traumatic. They can't swallow it. So they need it to be tailored specifically for them to swallow it. And that's what the nice guy's doing. So it's the same thing. So it's what I'm talking about. It comes down to the term in that fashion of what it really means to what it's really associated with. So that's why I don't believe it. Has the term evolved? Yes, it has evolved.
The term feminist?
Feminist, yes. And even if they're tailoring it well to be attractive, men still don't like it.
So
like when men don't like for it to come out and be like women empowerment and somebody preaching that and whatnot.
Is that what I was going to ask you? Feminism or feminist is evolved to women empowerment?
Yes.
Okay.
And even if you see it with the male feminists.
Okay.
So this is another problem too, because how we're looking at empowerment. See, this is very interesting how one term, like 20 different people, 10 on this side, 10 on that side. The 10 on this side, left or right, depending on where you're looking at us from YouTube, are left, they're right. The 10 on this side is all think the same. Then the 10 on that side all think the same.
But different from the 10 on this side?
But it's different from that one term. So now when we're looking at the term women empowerment, one side is thinking of sexual liberation. You could post your body how you want. Abortions, all that shit. Women could pick up men now. Women could dominate men in bed. Women could do all these things. This is empowerment. Women could be in male-dominating jobs. Make equal pay. Don't care about expertise. Be fair. Blah blah blah. Then you got the other people who are like, well, women empowerment could be submission because she's choosing to serve me. That's her choice. Women empowerment could be she's choosing to be a housewife. She's choosing to cook dinner. I'm not telling her what time to cook. She just asked me, you're getting off at this time. What would you like to eat? Want some broccoli, mashed potatoes, some steak, seasoned well, boom, boom, boom. I'm going to sit at the head of the table. You're going to bring me this. Like she's okay. She's making the decision now. Oh, he gets off at this time. I'm going to plan this to do this. That's empowerment too. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I'm saying. It's interesting how many different people look at one term different because now it comes down to specific, general, subjective, based off experiences, and technical. You know what I'm saying?
So let me ask you this last part. What constitutes them or labels them as such of a woman and a male?
Feminist.
Yeah, like what that? Just them being feminist?
What constitutes? Okay, say it again.
what constitutes them or labels them as such?
Like a feminist. What
Yeah.
constitutes them as a feminist
Yes,
or
yes.
labels them as feminist? So based off subjective ideology, that's what constitutes them.
Of the person labeling them or of themselves?
So the person labeling them.
Got you, okay.
You know what I'm saying? So when you look at what I think of a male feminist, right, might be a simp.
Okay.
What I think of a male feminist is a man that has an ideology, happy wife, happy life.
Mm-hmm.
He's not thinking happy spouse, happy house, like both of us.
Mm-hmm.
He's thinking I got to put my happiness on the back burner.
For her. Gotcha.
She's on a pedestal.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a male feminist. A male feminist is bashing men and bigging up women on the expense of bashing men to emasculate them for the byproduct of getting in her panties.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? That's a male feminist to me. A male feminist is lying on his nature. A male feminist is okay with like the transgender and shit like that and the abortion and whatnot. And women can dominate men in bed too. And women could you understand what I'm saying? Like they're about abolishing gender roles. That's a male feminist to me. And like I said, this is my ideology. Mm-hmm. Now, maybe one or two of those ideologies may not be in, but maybe some couple of guests that maybe males we brought on could agree with everything else. So they're saying similar to what I'm saying, maybe a couple. So they see the male feminists as the same thing too. And the opposite, female feminists of, women gotta be in every regard here. Why is there not a female basketball coach? Why is there not why can't a woman dominate a man in bed? Why can't he be tied up? Why can't he do that? Like, if he's doing the male gender roles, why can't he do the female ones too sometimes? You know what I'm saying? So that's a female feminist to me. As a woman, I could post my body online because that's my right. You know what I'm saying? And do this and have one night stands if I want and do it and not be judged. That's a female feminist to me. You know what I'm saying? So now somebody else may think it's different because, like I said, female feminists today, and that's what I'm talking about today, are not real. The female feminists back in the days only advocated for equal rights. They were fighting for women's rights equally. You know what I'm saying? Those were the real feminists because those women would have a problem with how you're looking at women on OnlyFans. Right. They would be the ones, if they were still feminists today, to say, women, put your clothes on. We're not just a piece of meat. Don't let him objectify you because this is what you're doing. It's a free pass.
Right.
Don't go out dressed like that. That's what they would be. They don't exist anymore because they got what they want. There's a lot of feminists that have transitioned to traditional and submissive. They got probably podcasts. They won't admit that. You know what I'm saying? They've transitioned. They smartened up. God is probably in their life. They got conscious. They woke. The feminist is going through trauma. The feminists today going through trauma. They don't know themselves. They're not healed, men and women. They're not healed. They're a danger to society and themselves. They're eventually going to cause catastrophic harm to themselves and other people. They're not healed. They're unhealed. They got a lot of brain fog too. You know, their intuition is not at a high level. They're definitely not in their divinity.
So what can I ask you? What do you think about that law that they passed?
About
the women not being able to vote if their birth certificate and their license don't match, or their ID.
It's dumb because now we want to do this. You know what I'm saying? Like, let's look at these things now. You know what I'm saying? Like, it could be like, it could be like a job, right? Fucking like some jobs, like you have the armored car that come in. You know what I'm saying? In like retail or whatever. They come to pick up deposits. Mad deposits have been missing for the whole, what month? We're in April. The whole month of March. Now you say you want to be strict and start cranking down and you find 10 deposits missing. 8 deposits missing. And it's like, well, damn, well, let's start doing this. Let's start writing them. Why do they still have a job?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but who are you saying is that type of person? The women?
I'm saying, like, why are they now starting to do this? Let's check this. Let's check that now. But you already gave women the right to vote. So now we going back?
Yeah. This whole country is going backwards.
It is what it is now because we can't dictate. That's how I feel about it. That's how I feel about it. But now I'm saying, well, there's a ruler here, and then there's people behind the scenes too. So just because we see the president, that's what I'm saying. Just because we see the president, we think it's just him. There's people behind the scenes too. So the thing is, the boss is the boss.
You think the old type feminists are coming back?
It's just like La Cosa Nostra, the Italian mafia. No matter what it is, the boss is the boss, right? You could be like, oh, he didn't come into the life. Nepotism. You know, we could talk about the Gambinos back in the days. You know, it was Carlo first, but then nepotism, Paul Castellano. That's why Gotti and them didn't like that, and that's what it was, because it was like, oh, he don't fuck with us. He ain't from the streets. He was like businessman. But why? Well, he got appointed to that. So what are you gonna do? You gotta follow. You gotta get on board because that's what it is, or bounce, go somewhere else. So yes, you may not agree with it. You may not agree with it or whatever it is, but if you're gonna be here, what can you do? The only thing you could do is fight it. Yes. But other than that, if you don't have a team and you can't combat it, then it ain't gonna be happen. It ain't gonna happen. Tariffs on China. Oh, well, we're gonna do this with China because of the lack of respect and whatnot. Well, what are they doing? They're countering that. They're retaliating too. So that's the only thing you could do. That's the only thing you could do, because if a boss is stating a certain thing in the corporation, whatever, world, job, relationship, the alternative is abide or buy. Or you could fight. You could fight. And then you could see if something can occur from that. And that's it. But not everybody's gonna do that. You're either gonna abide by, you don't agree with it, or buy. You go to a different country. And then you will fight, protesting and whatnot. And you see what that gets you. And that's it. That's all it is. But that's how I think about it. Like, why are we backtracking? Why are we doing this now? Just like the scenario with the deposits. Like, nigga, somebody should be under investigation, because who's supposed to be watching the deposits? Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Like, you see, so it's like they should be fired. So it comes down to like so many things with that too. Like, we bringing this back, but it's like, what's the purpose of it? You know what I'm saying? Like, let this shit rock now. You trying to bring this shit back? That's how I look at it. But other than that, I can't say to myself, oh, it's not fair.
It's so that they can keep on passing laws that women would object to.
Yeah.
That's why they're doing it.
Yeah, I mean, you know, it is what it is.
Yeah. These are topics that we're going to have on Patreon because it gets crazy.
Yeah, so final thoughts, I guess.
Final thoughts.
I could talk about this forever. Like, be here for 2-3 hours straight. You know, it's a lot to dive into.
I think that I agree with you about the feminists of today. I don't think that they're true feminists, and I've expressed my why I think that now on other episodes as well. But I think that they're definitely gonna be coming back because of this whole law that's passing. And as far as what was
feminists will come back,
the real ones, the old school ones who are gonna fight this whole thing. The ones that are traditional, they're gonna come out of the woodworks.
No, they're not.
They already are. They already have a whole coalition being formed to go against this.
But you don't know if that's a fact. If they were like traditional,
yeah, they had. Oh, if they're traditional, no, I don't know what they're.
I don't think they're gonna go back to that, because a lot of them didn't even a lot of them were like, oh, women shouldn't have had that many rights anyways. Like, women shouldn't have had the right to vote. Like, why couldn't we stay back home? Why couldn't it have been like this? More money would have came in the house. Like, they probably think like that. Maybe not in, that, like, all to detail, but along
the
those way.
Republican women might think that way.
Yeah. So.
Alrighty. So what's your final thought? Because
that was it.
I forgot it. Go ahead, just go.
I think that technically speaking, I don't think they are labeled as a feminist. Because of what I believe a feminist really is. But I think that they are in that realm, depending on who you are, having that ideology because of what the woman is putting out. So some women don't put it out anymore because they know men don't like that and they're heterosexual and they want to connect with us, right? They're not going to go the other way. They're tired of playing with the toy, right? They want to feel of a real man. So they want to go out there and date, right? They want to build families, not be alone, whatever, companionship. Every woman want different things. So I think that they are hiding that term because they know a lot of men don't like it and they don't want to lose their chances, but their actions. So I would encourage men to pay attention to actions, not words. If words match, then you got to keep her. But pay attention to actions because a woman could be in a relationship acting independent, not stating that. Like I used the example earlier. I'm going on girls' trips. Like my girls are planning something in Cancun next month. What? Listen, I didn't ask you for permission. We're in a relationship. Why would I need permission? I'm just telling you what's going on. Independent. How she's posting online, and she's in a relationship. She posts independently. She's posting like she's single. How she moves. If she says her body is his, like me, I'm gonna take that literal. So if you want to cut your hair and how you want to dress it, like you could do that, but I would like input in there. Especially if you're deeming me the leader here. I would like input. Oh, I'm going to cut it 3 inches. I'm going to put it on ponytail. You like it like this? That make the man love you more. Because he's seeing that you're putting it in there. I'm telling you, the psychologically of a man, even if they don't know these terms, is when you're doing the opposite of saying independent. A man loves to feel needed. That's in direct correlation with dependent upon. So when you're acting independent, it's a turnoff. Your man may not have the balls to tell you that. But he's thinking it. Maybe that's why he keeps cheating. He's finding other women that are submissive. You know what I'm saying? Maybe that's why he's distant from you, withholding intimacy. Who knows? Men do different things. He may not cheat. But he'll be doing different things. Because of that. So he don't have the balls to articulate. This is what's making me repress. This is what's repressing my feelings. This is what makes me regress. You're repelling me. He's not saying that. I don't want to hurt her feelings. I don't want her to cry. I don't want her to think I'm a mean man. So in that regard, oftentimes that happens when we get into certain relationships or whatever it is where you could be the most vulnerable. In your job, you could tell them lies. You don't have to be 100% real there. You got to get along. It might fuck up your money. But in your relationship, you should be your most vulnerable. A man being in his masculine is the most vulnerable. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? So a woman being in her feminine is the most vulnerable. So I think that oftentimes they don't do it in stating it, but they act it. So the nail situation of your body is mine. Like she should ask him, oh, what color you should want. Because she's stating that I'm doing this for you, not Instagram. You see how the mind of the masculine man gonna work?
Mm-hmm. That's true.
And a lot of times they're thinking like this, even if it's their subconscious. I'm just helping them because maybe my ancestors is speaking to speak through them because their ancestors can't get to them.
The guys?
Yeah.
Okay.
So when he's doing that, oh, what would you like to eat today? Men like me thrive on that. Because it's not like the bait is going to make her feel bad. Damn, well, she can't make decisions. Me, I'm looking at it like, oh, she cares about me. Yeah, because she wants my opinion. She's adding me in there. Oh, what do you think I should eat today? Is this healthy? Do you think this is a bit provocative? I'm going to a wine tasting with my girls. You think it's a little bit provocative? Yeah, the change. Okay. That make a man feel good. I might just be talking subjective as a dominant. I mean, that makes a dominant feel good, maybe not a regular man. But you got to understand that it's like when she's doing the opposite, she's moving independently. A real man who's a straight shooter like myself is going to check you on it. That's why I teach women. Women come into this lifestyle more educated than there was, especially pertaining to the relationship dynamic. Maybe before me, she didn't even know about masculine energy. Now she does. Now, before me, she didn't even know about submission. Yeah, when I was younger, I used to think that term was degrading. But now that I'm more educated on it and I see how it's done, especially with this man, I love it. Oh, okay, this is power here. Femininity, power. Okay, yeah, I want that. That shit was weak. Masculine? No, I just want to do that in my job because they don't deserve that vulnerability. My job, I could wear the mask. Masculine. My man, I take the mask off. Vulnerability, feminine, power. So I think that we need to educate ourselves. It comes down to that, which I always preach about. We talk about circumstance versus education. Some people could say people act a certain way because of circumstance. You're making them not take accountability. It's education. Now that we have the education out there, because there's mad platforms talking about it, what you're going to do with it. Got no excuses now. So now if you want to change and where you want to go, you apply it. Now you have power. Applied knowledge. Now you have power. So I think that if she's a male feminist, if he's a male feminist, she's a female feminist of today, they're both fucked up. They're mentally ill. You know, they're mentally ill. And most likely they're going to bring this into their dynamic. Depending on who they're with, it's not going to be successful. The male feminist only works with the female feminist, which is pretty fucking ironic because similar things don't go together.
Yeah, right? Weird.
They don't. You know what I'm saying? Because she's going to bring that rah-rah and he's going to be like, yay, queen. Yay. Yay. See? They're the same. You see? But imagine the feminist female with the male chauvinist.
Oh, that's bad.
No, she's getting checked. There's going to be an ultimatum. There's going to be stipulations. And if there's not a change, I'm gone or you are. The male feminist is not going to do that. You know, so they're ill. That's why they're attracted to each other. Toxicity. Now it's a toxic relationship. You don't meet divinity, the male chauvinist, or whatever else you want to say, and then toxicity, and it's going to be successful. The divinity overpowers the toxicity. And what one or two things happen. The toxicity runs away because it needs to feed into toxicity so it can grow, you know, like a seed of a plant, or it transforms and it gets to divinity because it's following that leadership. That's the only way it happens. It doesn't happen where they're able to keep their toxicity with the divinity. Somebody's faking if. You know, somebody's faking. Her toxicity outside of the relationship, oh, she's not even holding herself accountable based off the rules that they're both following. She's faking. So now she's not a reflection of him, even behind his back. If he's in his divinity, but he's doing toxic shit. You know what I'm saying? He's empowering the OnlyFans. He says there's nothing wrong with it.
He subscribes to it, imagine.
He subscribes to it. He's fake. You know what I'm saying? He believes that it is okay for women to constantly have one-night stands. It's their choice. Let them deal with the consequences. It's okay. Let them deal with the consequences. I ain't going to do nothing. I ain't going to tell them. I ain't going to teach them. It's okay. You know what I'm saying? Like, same thing. He's not in his divinity. I was in a situation recently, and then we're going to cut. I was leaving, and I was in the garage and I was leaving, and these girls came out of the elevator, and I was like, I'll park my car on the roof. They came out, and I let my car warm up before I take off. So I'm sitting there letting it warm up and everything, and these girls come out of the elevator. They're wobbly. Right off the bat, I'm like, I think they're drunk. One of them, and then the other one was wobbling. So I'm like, yeah, they're both drunk. So then one of them, and they're beautiful ladies. Well, I wouldn't say they're ladies. They're beautiful girls, females. The more thicker one, like, fell back. And this is like concrete. She fell back. And the other one is like, oh my God, runs to her, whatever. So I pull on my window and I'm like, yo, y'all ladies are clearly drunk. Designated driver, any one of you? If one of y'all the designated driver, call an Uber right now. Yo, they can't hear me. I don't know how inebriated they are. They can't hear me. But one of them, the black hair one, the black hair and a blonde. Black hair one comes over to my car. It's like knocking. So now she's on the window. So I put it a crack. I'm like, what do you want? So she's like, can you drive us home? And then the other girl, so it was like a Latina and a white girl. So the white girl's like, no, we don't even know him. Like, so the white girl was like, she wasn't as drunk.
Yeah,
I could tell, she wasn't as drunk because she was a lot more logical. So then she's like, no, we don't know. So then the same girl is pushing the white girl. The Latina is pushing the white girl, and she's like trying to open my back door. Thank God I got like safety. When I unlock, only my side opens.
Maybe she thought you was the Uber. If she was drunk.
Maybe, but she had somebody on the call, so I was trying to talk loud. Yo, whoever's there, call her an Uber, blah, blah, blah. If that person is available to drive, call them, come pick you up. So then she's trying to open the back door. And no. So I'm like, no. So then she puts her face on my window, right? And she was bleeding, like her nose and everything. It was like gushing through her like lips and everything. And it was all in my car. I was like, yo, can you get the fuck off my car? Like, that's you're freaky. Bleeding on my shit. Thank God it was raining.
That's I had to
wash my shit the next day. Energy, sage, everything. I had to sage everything. So now I'm saying to myself, thinking more logical, because you got to understand the simp, right, would do it. The guy who's thirsty. I'm thinking more so like paranoid.
Yeah.
Like, yo, I don't trust these bitches. They don't trust me. One of them don't trust me, but I don't trust them. And they're going to be sitting in the back seat? No. That's liable. That's liable for her to do anything to me. Steal shit, whatever. Like men get fucked up. Like, from women sometimes.
Yeah, they set you up.
Yeah. So I'm like, who knows where they live too? Or the people they know. So you see, I'm thinking about all this shit. Also the dominant in the lifestyle, I can't escape it. I'm thinking about all this shit. I'm calculating all this shit while we're also having a conversation. So I'm multitasking. So I'm thinking like, yo, get the fuck off my car. Da, da, da. So she got off. And then, like, I didn't want to pull off right away because my mirror would have slapped her.
Oh, my goodness.
So I was like, I honked. Then she stepped back. And then I pulled out a little bit. And I went that way. And then it came back and then left. But I was like, I just said this out into the universe quick. I said, like, almost like a prayer. Like, yo, I hope those girls get home all right. Because, and then that was it. I was like, yo, was God testing me? No. That's the worst test ever. Like, what? No, I'm not a fucking good Samaritan.
That's
I'm not giving free rides and shit and fucking anything can happen. I don't trust you. And where are you? Maybe one of you got a man and he's whatever. Like, come on. Who dropped you off? Yo, or it could have been something I could have done because it could have been like timing. Oh, these bitches need your help. And it's like, oh, you're the one that's going to do it. So I'm like, no. So I'm driving home like anxious. And I don't really get anxious.
Right.
But I'm like driving home anxious. And I'm like, yo, that was the weirdest shit ever to happen in this month.
Especially with the nose bleeding and all that stuff. Maybe she was on coke.
Fuck.
That's crazy.
You know, I was just like,
and so dangerous.
I was so mad. Get the fuck off my car. playing all over this shit. How dare you?
Here's a napkin. You'll clean yourself up.
So, that's an example of maybe more feminist. Like, I'm not making them hold themselves accountable. If I was a female feminist, just go, oh yeah, I'm the nice Uber guy. Come on in. No, like, whatever happened, I hope nothing bad happened to them. They finally got an Uber and got home safe. But if something worse happened, that's me making them hold themselves accountable. It's not me wiping your ass for you and saving you. I think a lot of times women will do fucked up shit knowing that there's someone to rescue us. And more men are disciplined, even if they don't know what that term means. They force themselves to be. Other people make them. They are strict to hold themselves accountable, even if they don't want, because we know nobody's coming to rescue us.
That's true.
So in that moment, that's why I'm telling you a real life event.
Story.
So it's not a story. That happened, and I did that also consciously knowing, no, like, get the fuck off my car. You bleeding everywhere. You got yourself through this. You want me to, I didn't say all that, but I'm thinking it. Like, I was just like, get the fuck off my car. Bleeding everywhere. How dare you? You know how much this costs? Like, that's what I said. But I'm thinking about everything that I'm saying to you.
Right.
Like, nah, I'm not giving y'all Uber. Call one. You got yourself in this mess. Get yourself out of it. So.
Plus, you're a stranger. That's crazy for them to think that.
Yeah, but that's me holding them accountable. And I think that when I do the shaming of the feminists, it goes back full circle. Hold them accountable. I shame men too for doing that. Hold them accountable. And old school dudes, men in their circle, they shame them by saying certain things. You a sissy, bro. You pussy. You better do that. Like, not shit like, oh, I'm spending time with wifey right now. Like, that's being pussy. No, that's man shit. But I mean, like, simping. Like, if you were simping, like, bro, you gonna let your girl tell you don't watch WWE wrestling because she want attention right now? Like, you a sissy, bro. Well, you doing that? Like, we would hold them accountable. Like, you really like that. You really like to do that. You're giving that up for her? Why can't she join in with you on it? Well, you really giving that up for her? You a simp. Like, we would hold them accountable. You know what I'm saying? And they would force them to hold themselves accountable and be a man. Yo, be a man. We would say shit like that. Yo, be a man. Oh, you ain't a man right now. We make them feel bad. So we need to bring shaming back. You know what I'm saying? We need to bring this back because this will help people hold themselves accountable. We need to bring accountability back. We need to bring person of your word back, principles. We need to bring morals back. This feminist shit ain't it. We need to get back into God. You know what I'm saying? It's affecting everything. So, one more episode left. Season finale. I'm cooking. Sue steaming. You know what I'm saying? So it's about to rock. Only on the Discipline Therapy Podcast. Peace.